standing here on the ground. The sky above won't fall down. Hear no evil or direction. Resolution, happiness. Messages see loud and clear. Don't change here. Don't change a thing for me. I found a love I have lost. It was going for too long. Hear no evil or direction. An execution of bitterness. Messages see loud and clear. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. So don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. I'm standing here on the ground. The sky above won't fall down. So hear no evil or direction. Resolution of happiness. Message received loud and clear. Don't change for you, but don't change a thing for me. So don't change for you, but don't change a thing for me. night ain't going nowhere, and all the lights fading, green dream. Turning on the TV station, situations rushing in my ear. Looking back to time, yeah, no one's scared that I've been blind, I've been a fool. Open my heart to all that jealousy, that bitterness, that ridicule. Saturday in my mind, all the lights fading, red to green. Moving to the crowds I'm pushing, chemicals are rushing my bloodstream. Wishing you were here, I know I'm feeling so weak, I've been afraid. Showing how I really feel, meant some of those bad mistakes that I've made. If you want it, come and get it, crying out loud. That the love that I was giving you is never ending now. Go your head, fade now. Go your head, feed now. It's in Babylon, Babylon. Sunday, all the lights in London shining, sky is fading, red to blue. Moving through the crowds I'm pushing, wondering where it is they might be going to. Turning back for home, know I feel so alone, I can't believe it. Climbing on the stairs, I turn around to see you standing there. You're in front of me. And if you want it, come and get it, crying out loud. But the love that I was giving you is never end down. Go your head, play it now. Go your head, play it now. Go your head,
said after this one. No, don't do that one.
Robbie's not ready. You want to go one more?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the magnificent Crown Palladium. My name's Nigel Carmody. It's an absolute pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies for tonight's 2017 Vfl Best and Fairest count. AFL Victoria, first of all, would like to acknowledge that we are meeting today on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations. We pay our respects to the elders past and present. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we celebrate the 73rd counting of votes in the JJ Liston Trophy, a time-honoured award, of course, in Victorian football, and we'll also name the winner of the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Best and Fairest as well, a competition that is certainly going strong in its second season, certainly judging by the results on the weekend, and great pleasure to congratulate Scott Gowans and the team at Diamond Creek Football Club who are in to the VFL Women's Grand Final. I think that deserves a round of applause. First grand finalist for the year in the VFL. Tonight's count is being streamed live on vfl.com.au, so to those of you watching at home, I hope you're enjoying the coverage, and sure to be a lot of fun and some really good speeches to come throughout the course of the evening. Later this evening as well, Nicole Livingston, one of Australia's leading broadcasters, will join us here on stage to take us through the suite of awards being presented in the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's competition. And I think we can all agree that the way that competition is growing at the moment, some names that are becoming very well known very, very quickly. Shortly, we'll hear from AFL Victoria CEO Stephen Reaper to officially open proceedings and welcome some of our key people who are in the room tonight. But I'd like to take this opportunity, first of all, to welcome the following people. First of all, to our naming rights partners from both Peter Jackson and Swiss. I believe Nick and Paul Jackson are in the room tonight, along with the rest of the team from Peter Jackson. Alison McNeil is here from Swiss. I'm not sure about the presence of Steve Gillen, who I'm told tore his hamstring off the bone playing for St Kevin's in the premier grade of the amateur competition on the weekend. So Gilly, if you're here, hope you're doing well. And if you're watching at home, I hope the hammy's mending. Jeremy Watson from Toyota, good evening to Germany. Edwin Jett and the team from Choose Tap are here as well, a wonderful sponsor in particular of that great initiative in the VFL Women's competition. Welcome also to VFL partners from CGR, Sharon and also Club Warehouse. Wonderful to see a man who's done great things for the game in our state, the chairman of AFL Victoria, Ray Horsburgh, who's in attendance along with board member Grant O'Reilly. We'll see both those gentlemen on stage a little bit later this evening. A special welcome to some of our AFL guests, in particular GM of Football Andrew Dillon, who's in the audience this evening, along with Tim McCurdy, the MP who's here representing the state opposition leader Matthew Guy. VFL Tribunal members hold the booing, headed by Chairman Tim Burke. Those, of course, who put their bodies on the line every single week across the season, the many players in the two competitions of the VFL. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I think that deserves some acknowledgement. We've seen some outstanding football across the competition this year. And on that, if I could, also to acknowledge the contribution of Jordan Russell from the Footscray Football Club, who announced his retirement. He's been a state captain, Team of the Year member and a premiership captain as well, so I think a round of applause is well deserved for Jordan on a fantastic career. Been a wonderful ambassador for the competition and had a huge role in building Footscray's presence in the VFL competition over the past 4 years. To the 20-plus past winners of the JJ Liston Trophy in the room tonight, a very good welcome. We hope you enjoy your evening, and I'm sure there'll be memories flooding back of the night or day, as it was in some cases where you had your time in the sun with a JJ Liston Trophy around your neck. Members of the media, my fellow members of the media who are in the room tonight, who do an outstanding job covering both competitions across print, online, on radio as well, and a special welcome to the team, of course, here from Sevens, VFL and VFL Women's coverage. Campbell Brown here with us tonight, as well as Tom Carroll from the sports sales team here at 7 Melbourne. And from a Channel 7 point of view, we are so privileged that we'll be able to have a historic VFL Grand Final day this year. From 11:30 a.m. we'll be covering the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Grand Final for the first time, and then of course rolling into the Peter Jackson VFL Grand Final at Etihad Stadium. So to have the best part of 7 hours of the best football that this state can serve up on live TV, I think is fantastic, and something from a broadcast point of view we're certainly well and truly looking forward to. A special mention to our host venue here this evening, the Palladium at Crown. What a wonderful venue it is. We're lucky to be here, and Crown is certainly, of course, considered the home of sport in this town, and no doubt over the next couple of weeks as we lead into not only the VFL but the AFL finals and the Spring Racing Carnival. Crown is certainly the place to be. A big welcome to Aaron Reid, who's representing Crown here this evening in the absence of Carolyn Josephson. The Best Dressed Award, probably the more sought-after award perhaps than the JJ Liston Trophy. The competition is available via the VFL Footy Facebook page. Vote for the best dressed player to win a Peter Jackson wardrobe to the value of $500. The competition is open until Sunday. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with the formalities out of the way, let's have a look at the JJ Liston Trophy vote count through 6 rounds, so a third of the season gone. And Eli Templeton, who finished 5th in the count last year when a St Kilda listed player playing for Sandringham, this year playing his football with Port Melbourne, has flown the gates. He had 8 votes across rounds 3, 4 and 5, and he is tied atop the leaderboard after 6 rounds with Liam Jones. The news, if you're a Northern Blues fan, of course, is that Liam Jones did not play another VFL game after his hot start to the season. Of course, went on to do great things in the AFL and rewarded with a contract extension with Carlton. Adam Marcon and Blaine Bocorst on 7 votes. We then have a group of players on 6 votes. Jacob Townsend, what an amazing story this has been over the last 3 weeks. He's kicked 13 goals in 3 AFL games, including 2 on Friday night, and that stirring win over Geelong. Jack Fitzpatrick, the now retired Jack Fitzpatrick, on 6 votes. Mitch Wallace, who made his return from that broken leg, to get 6 votes across rounds 3, 4 and 5 as well. And Toby Pinwell is also on 6 votes, not on that sheet there. In fact, Toby's on 5, heading a group of players on 5 votes. He'll play his 204th VFL game this Sunday in a preliminary final against Williamstown. Nicole Livingston, a little bit later on, will give us some insight into the counting and the status of the Swiss VFL Women's Best and Fairest at the halfway mark. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome to officially open proceedings the CEO of AFL Victoria, Mr Stephen Reaper.
Thank you very much, Nigel, and on behalf of our chairman, Ray Horsburgh, and the rest of the AFL Victoria board, welcome to the VFL Best and Fairest. I think it's a fantastic venue, as Nigel spoke about, to have it here at Crown Casino, and we're delighted to be here again for the 2nd year with both males and females in attendance. When we spoke to a number of people at the start of the year what the VFL could look like, we were quite blessed, I think, when we looked at it, what would come up into the 2017 season. And I think upon reflection, the games that have been played at both VFL level and the VFL women's level have been outstanding, and we've had a wonderful year from a Football Victoria point of view. We've seen the growth at women's football with 327 new teams, and it's a new dynamic, and I think as we go into the future, nights like this evening become the norm as we can sit in rooms with both males and females. And those who have daughters growing up, I think it's fantastic that the game of AFLW came about so successfully this year, and we've seen some fantastic flow-on effect as a result of that. As mentioned by Nigel, I would also like to give a very warm welcome to some of AFL Victoria's valued partners. It's fantastic to see Nick Jackson in the room. Peter Jackson have been the naming right partner of AFL Victoria's premier competition for the last 7 years. And it's also great to see Ali from Swiss here in attendance. And unfortunate for Stephen to tear his hamstring off the bone. I've been there. He won't be enjoying sitting down for the next few weeks, but the fantastic support that Swiss have been able to provide the VFL Women's over the last 2 years is muchly appreciated. Thank you also to the rest of our corporate partners who have continued to work with us, and a special mention this year to Choose Tap and Victoria Police, who have come on board as new partners in 2017. To the many representatives of clubs here tonight, whether it be presidents, board members, management and staff, past winners, sponsors, AFL club representatives, whether you're in an aligned or a standalone position, and most importantly all the players, family and friends, we welcome you all here tonight. While we sit here and acknowledge mainly the players on an evening such as tonight, it is imperative that we take the time to thank the clubs for their outstanding support of their players across the year. And I think that goes without saying that each and every year our expectations of our clubs get higher and higher, and most of you are on that journey of improving not only your players on field but also importantly improving your players off field. So thank you very much for the clubs who have been part of our competitions. Congratulations also to those clubs who made the finals, and all the very best for those who remain in the hunt for that elusive premiership. I think it's been fantastic. We saw on the weekend we've got a mixture of VFL clubs, and Diamond Creek also making it into the VFL Women's Grand Final after beating Darebin on the weekend. And that's something that we haven't seen in a period of time, and looking forward to see who can win that other game to make it into that Grand Final in a few weeks' time. And it is outstanding to think that in a few weeks' time, AFL Victoria hosts the first triple header of Grand Finals at Etihad Stadium. And to have that on our broadcast partner with Channel 7, who again have done a fantastic job. And I'd like to reiterate and pass on my thanks to Lewis Martin for all the great work that our broadcast partner has undertaken. Fantastic work undertaken throughout the year by Nigel Carmody, Jason Bennett, and also Campbell Brown and the host of boundary riders that we've seen. That coverage is second to none across the state outside of elite level sport. So again, we'd like to thank Channel 7, our broadcast partner, for their ongoing efforts to be involved in our competitions. Tonight, importantly, we'll also be rewarding 8 members into the new Life Membership category at AFL Victoria. And Life Membership is something that I think is an outstanding service above and beyond the norm that we all expect these days, that everybody makes that contribution. To be a Life member, you're taking it to an extreme level, a level that I think is, importantly from our point of view, an institution to our game. So well done to those 8 people who will be awarded that Life Membership category later on in the evening. And finally, well done to all. From a playing perspective, there'll be best players in the room tonight, there'll be best and fairest awarded, there'll be leading goal kickers, and it's not necessarily about the individual awards, but all the hard work that you do put in across the season. It's great to get some reward for that. Our teams of the year, fantastic effort by all of those players that make them, and importantly, as we go into the last few weeks of the finals, we hope that everyone enjoys their football, whether it be in the crowd or as a player or a spectator or an administrator. I think it's a great time of the year to be in Melbourne watching football, and I'm really looking forward in a few weeks' time to that triple header at Etihad Stadium. So enjoy the evening. I hope everyone has a fantastic time, and again, thank you very much for your outstanding efforts across 2017. Thanks very much.
Thank you to Stephen Reaper. Worth mentioning for those of you in the room using social media, hopefully not while anyone's talking, or for those of you at home as well, if you'd want to interact or make sure that your social media is part of the community here tonight, hashtag Vfl B&F if you want to get involved on social media. Time to get started with some awards, and this is a big one, the Jim Frosty Miller Medal, which of course is named after a man who kicked 883 goals for Dandenong, 6-time leading goal kicker in the competition, Jim Frosty Miller. And it was a hotly contested race this year in the Frosty Miller Medal. In third place, with 39 goals from the Tigers, Ben Lennon. Second place, man was tied going into the final round of the season in the race for Frosty. He got an AFL debut that denied him the chance to win this award on 42 goals, an amazing debut season from Collingwood's Cale Kirby. But our winner of the 2017 Frosty Miller Medal for the second time, after winning it in 2015 with 42 goals, this year with 46 majors, is Port Melbourne's Jordan Lyle. And as Jordan makes his way to stage, let's have a look back at his season 2017. So, Jim Frosty Miller, I'll allow you to do the honours and hand over your award for the second time to Jordan Lyle from Port Melbourne. A round of applause for Jordan. Thanks, Frosty. Come in, Jordan. I think you've set a record as the only man to win this award twice whose nickname is Moose.
That's correct.
Good. Got the formalities out of the way. Mates, you were an interesting study this year. Kicked 3 behinds in each of your first 5 games for the season. We didn't know what was happening, and it looked like you were trying to figure out it as well. But you got things going in the middle part of the season. Kicked just 2 behinds in about a 10-week span mid-season. Did you have to change anything technically in terms of run-up, ball drop, anything like that? Because we've seen a lot of players at AFL level in particular struggle and even resort, I guess like Joe Danaher has, to kicking the ball around your body. Did you change anything or did you just get it going?
Not really. It was just doing the practice, I think. I saw you potting me a few times as well. I watched
No, that was
the
Brownie.
replays.
Absolutely Campbell Brown. He's a
Brownie,
special comments.
He said I had the yips, but that's all right. Just doing the practice. I've always had confidence in my goal kicking. Suppose you go through patches, but you can't kick them all. That's what I always think. But as long as you do the practice, and then hopefully on game day they go through.
How do you compare this year to winning the medal a couple of years ago? Four more goals, obviously, but better season on par. What do you think?
Probably similar. I think we had a better year this year, and I sort of say that I think that our forwards kicking goals is a result of the way we move the ball and how well our midfield does. And we've had guys like Eli and Tom O'Sullivan. Those guys will do well on the vote count tonight. You're kicking the ball into you, it makes it easy. Probably Toby to a lesser extent. His kicks tend to spin sideways, so they're a bit harder to mark.
When he's not running after first-round draft picks trying to push them in quarter-time huddles.
Might have kicked 100 if he could kick.
I hope you're not sitting on his table. You probably are?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not real safe. As Tom Boyd found out yesterday. Dylan Conway, huge move in the off-season coming across from Williamstown. He and you have formed a really potent partnership. You must enjoy playing alongside him.
Yeah, love playing with Gill. He takes a bit of the heat off me, and he's just a really smart forward. So gives us another forward target. We identified that as an area that we needed to improve on after last year. We just needed more options up forward, and feel like now we've got 5 or 6 forwards every week who could kick 3 or 4 goals, and it's really dangerous for the opposition.
20-point win yesterday over Footscray, which sets up your 251st meeting with Williamstown in a preliminary final Sunday at home at Fort Burns Stadium. It doesn't get much better. How do you turn things around? You had a really close loss to them late in the season. Yeah,
it's actually only my 3rd meeting with Willie, but we're looking forward to it. It'd be a massive game. Last 2 standalone clubs left in it, and we're absolutely we're so excited for it. We can't wait. It's only a prelim, but it's going to feel like a grand final out there at Port Melbourne on Sunday.
Well, we're excited too. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for our 2017 Frosty Miller medalist for the 2nd time, Jordan Lyle. We keep the awards moving with an award that is starting to build a reputation for producing AFL talent. And that, of course, is the Fothergill Round Medal, named after, of course, Barry Round and Des Fothergill, who were the first 2 players in history to win both the JJ Liston Trophy and the Brownlow Medal, and subsequent to Luke Ryan winning the award last year from Coburg and obviously making his move to Fremantle. We've added a 3rd man to that list with Sam Mitchell, who, of course, was a Liston Trophy winner in his time with Box Hill, being awarded, of course, the 2012 Brownlow Medal in the off-season. So he now joins that exalted company. The criteria of the Fothergill Round Medal is quite simple. It is awarded annually to the most promising young player in the VFL. Recent winners include Robin Nahas, Michael Barlow, Michael Hibbard, Ahmed Saad, Dean Towers, Adam Marcon, and as we mentioned, last year's winner, Luke Ryan. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome forward Adam Marcon, who won the award just 2 years ago, en route, of course, to his time with Richmond and having a stellar season this year with Williamstown. I'm going to take a look at who the nominees for the award were this year, if you cast your gaze to the screens. Amongst them, Chris Jones, Bailey Fritsch, who were awarded early in the season with a rep game for Victoria against the WAFL. Luke Bunker, who's had an outstanding season after coming out of the TAC Cup. Marty Hoare, who's had a couple of years on Collingwood's list, coming from the Bendigo Pioneers. Nick Hind, who's a great story, was playing football in the Ballarat League in the Central Highlands just a couple of years ago. James Cheetas, Matt Hansen, an outstanding captain with Werribee. Ben Cavara, who made the move across to Williamstown from Frankston in the off-season. And, of course, the defending JJ Liston Trophy winner in Michael Gibbons. But ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the 2017 Fothergill Round medalist from the Casey Demons is Bailey Fritsch. And as Bailey makes his way forward, let's take a look back at his outstanding season. So allow Adam Marcon, 2015 winner of the Fothergill Round medal, to present it to Bailey Fritsch from the Casey Demons. Thanks, Adam. Bailey. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who aren't aware a little bit on Bailey's CV, a 20-year-old from Coldstream who is the Eastern Football League Division 4 young gun in 2014. He made his debut for Casey Round 4 2015 against Sandringham. He played 10 games in the Development League last year, including the Grand Final. This year, 36 goals in the home and away season. As mentioned, represented the VFL against the Waffle, averaged 13 possessions and 5.5 marks a game, kicking the footy at 73% efficiency. He was ranked 5th in the VFL for goals, kicked goals in each game, including 4 goals on 2 occasions. He'll attend the State Combine in October. And currently, before becoming a footballer, he's an electrician. Congrats, Bailey.
Thanks, mate.
You're not one for speeches, but tell us about the journey to get here, and in particular last year. You battled stress fractures in your back, and it must have felt like the season you've just had would have been a million miles away when you were doing rehab and trying to get back.
Yeah, so at the start of last year, sort of was meant to come back from a stress fracture, which was originally in the year before in round 1, but then, yeah, had another setback and didn't end up coming back till sort of round 13 last year, and then played the rest of the year in development. And then, yeah, come back this year, just sort of wanted to get a clear run at it, and yeah, it sort of moved on a little bit quicker than I thought, but yeah, happy to be where I am at the moment.
What were your goals coming into the start of the season? Was it as simple as trying to establish yourself in Casey's first team?
Yeah, I reckon just sort of, yeah, just trying to get a full pre-season and yeah, try and start off in the practice matches in the senior team and try and sort of make a spot my own, and yeah, lucky enough to sort of do that.
Tell us about some of the people that have supported you through this 3-year journey at Casey.
Probably Justin Plappy's been really good. Sort of early days, he probably wouldn't have noticed how much sort of what he did for myself, but yeah, definitely this year sort of worked really closely with him, and all the other coaches and all the support staff at Casey have been second to none. Couldn't sort of speak of them highly enough, but yeah.
Disappointing result on the weekend, but the upside is you've got a Development League Grand Final for your reserves to look forward to on the weekend. That'd be a massive thing for the club, being the last Development League Grand Final as well.
Yeah, disappointing on the weekend to get the loss, but yeah, that's footy, I guess. And yeah, we'll all get down and get behind the development boys to try and get them over the line for, yeah, the last Development League granny.
For those who understand geography in Melbourne, you live in Coldstream at the moment, which is on pretty much the edge of wine country in the Yarra Valley. As an electrician, I think your work currently takes you to Epping.
Yep.
And footy training's in Cranbourne. It's a pretty big triangle to be working 3 times a week. How do you go managing that? What's a normal day look like?
Yeah, normal days, sort of waking up at 5 o'clock and then sort of not getting home till 10 o'clock, sort of going from work to footy, and then, yeah, obviously home after a late night at training. But yeah, I guess once you get in the routine, it's sort of just something you do, I suppose. But yeah.
And a lot can change, hopefully, for you over the next couple of months. You might be able to live out your dream of playing AFL for a living. Tell us about the interaction you've had with clubs so far.
Yeah, it'd be a dream come true, but yeah, I've had a little bit of interaction, and I'll just keep trying to put my best foot forward, and whatever happens, happens. But yeah, definitely be keen to hope something happens, I guess.
Well, we do too, because you're joining an honour roll of players who've made the VFL competition proud. We hope you're going to be the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 Father Gill Round medalist, Bailey Fritsch from the Casey Demons. Hopefully the next one that we'll see lighting up our TV screens and seeing kids with his number at an AFL club on their back. And now take a look at the voting this year in the ATOD medal, which of course is awarded annually to the best and fairest player in the AFL Victoria Development League. The award, of course, is named after former Port Melbourne committeeman Archie Todd. To present tonight's award, we'll welcome AFL Victoria's competitions manager John Hook. But I'll ask you to turn your attention to the screens as we reveal the top 10 in the 2017 ATOD medal. We had 3 players tied in 9th place. Daniel Johnston from Casey, Kyder Clace from the Northern Blues, and Lockie Schultz from Williamstown on 7 votes. Tied in 6th place, 3 players on 8 votes from Sandringham, Luke Verma, from Casey, Nathan Gardner, and his Demons teammate in Tom Baker. Tied in 4th place, 2 votes back on 9 votes. Braden Kilpatrick from the Box Hill Hawks, who saw some senior action later on in the season, and from the Northern Blues, Tim Jones. Our joint runners-up, 1 vote behind the winner. From Port Melbourne, Mitch Golby, and from Box Hill, Billy Murphy, who's also done some very good things in the senior team in the second half of the season. But our winner of the 2017 ATOD medal for the fairest and best player in the AFL Victoria Development League on 11 votes from the Casey Demons, Goy Locke. And as Goy makes his way forward to the stage, please cast your gaze to the screens for a look back at his season. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we might be goyless. I'll ask Justin Plapp, the senior coach of the Casey Demons, to come forward and accept the award on Goy's behalf, and maybe give us an explanation on where our medalist is. He is a 20-year-old from North Vale and Sandringham, was 5th in the Morris medal last year, played 10 development league games this year, 6 games in the senior team across the home and away season. He polled in 6 games, including best on grounds in round 4 against Werribee, round 12 against Sandringham, and if we can find him, he'll line up on Sunday in the grand final against Williamstown in the Development League. I didn't think I'd be talking to you, Justin, but here we are. Now, can you enlighten us on where Goy is right now?
I actually think he might be a training, actually out at Casey, but I wasn't expecting to talk to you.
An unexpected award, therefore.
Yeah, it is, and it's, look, everyone around the table just sort of got a bit of a shock because he wasn't here, so... But he's...
well, he's in for a shock too when he gets his phone out after training.
I'm sure he is, but look, he's obviously they've got a preparation this week for a grand final, so he'd be training very hard out there at the moment.
So this is a great story. He's Sudanese, lived around the Mulgrave area, played his junior footy with North Vale, came through the Sandringham Dragons, has to make a decision on where he plays his VFL football, and Casey's not the closest choice. Got to trek down the Monash Freeway about 30 or so minutes. It says a bit about his commitment.
Yeah, look, Goy was a young fella that I was lucky enough to have a bit of time with at the Sandringham Dragons back 4 or 5 years ago, and he was a young fella that also Danny Ryan, who we got in our coaching panel, had a fair bit to do with, and we met with him early on. He's from out Casey Way, so we sort of thought it might have been a pretty good fit for him. Just a really hard worker. He's a kid that's got really good morals and values about the way he goes about his footy. And you talk about kids that have actually have to go outside. The elements of travel and all that sort of stuff that you need, and even what you just spoke about with Bailey. Goy had to do that as an under-18, doing a lot of travelling, a couple of hours each way and that sort of thing. So to have him on our list, it's very, very exciting. He played really good quality football throughout the year, earned his own right after playing as a 23rd player, but he's got a good future in front of him.
Pretty big carrot for your footy club to win the last ever Development League Premiership on Sunday, I would have thought.
Yeah, it is. It's an exciting time for our club. We've put a lot of work in with our younger players, like all the other teams that have development teams, and it's something that we hide. We prioritise it very high, and for a lot of our kids that have been in our program, it'd be a very nice send off for some of those boys, and something for them to really strive for. And we're really excited for their opportunity that they have this weekend.
What time are the boys on the track till?
I reckon they'll be done now. Should be only a short night out there.
Well, it's 7:45 by my watch, Plappy. We're going to about 10 tonight. I reckon you can do Casey Fields to Crown in about 50 minutes. I'll set you the challenge as a footy club. If you get him here before 10, we'll get him on stage and give him the medal.
We might get Keg and one of the boys onto it to get onto it, but I'm probably no good because I've already had a couple of beers. But
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a great story for the Casey Football Club, the Fothergill Round medal and also the ATOD medal. Plappy, thanks for your time, impromptu, and we'll see if we can get Goy here.
Well, that was unexpected. Goy, if you're tuning in, please. Uber, I'll pay for it, I don't mind. Ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome my co-host for the evening to run us through the suite of awards in the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Competition. A warm round of applause, please, for Nicole Livingston.
Thank you, Nige. I think if you're paying, we better find him. Thank you very much for that. A warm welcome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having me along here tonight. It is my absolute pleasure to present the awards that we're about to run through. I have to say, as an Olympic athlete, I've watched in awe the momentum that has come around Victorian football and the Australian Football League when it comes to women in sport. And I have to say I'm a little jealous as well that it didn't happen in my time as an athlete, because I would have loved to have had a crack at it as well. But it's wonderful to see that our Victorian women are getting the opportunity to show the world what we've long known, just how wonderful they are. So I think just to start the night, I'm going to try and warm you up a little. How about a round of applause for the 2017 Victorian Football League women's season? As you all know, a new era in women's football in Victoria did begin in 2016 with the launch of the first Swiss Wellness Victorian Football League Women's VFL Women's. In its second year, the competition consisted of 10 teams, including foundation teams Darebin Falcons, the Diamond Creek, Eastern Devils, Melbourne University, Seaford, St Kilda, VU, Western Spurs, and 2 new teams in 2017 in the Box Hill Hawks and the Geelong Cats. The VFL women's competition has certainly helped to further develop talent right across Melbourne and regional Victoria, providing the next step of female talent pathway. In 2017, 110 AFL women's players were listed in the VFL women's competition, and that number we know is set to increase when the AFLW draft takes place in October. For the first time, the VFL Grand Final will join the Peter Jackson VFL and the TAC Cup deciders at Etihad Stadium in what will be a Victorian triple header, and we are certainly looking forward to seeing that on September 24. Now, if you can't be there in person to watch this at Etihad, you can catch it for the first time ever. It will make its debut, the VFL Women's Grand Final, free to to air on Network 7 prior to the men's grand final. And I'd like to say congratulations on getting onto free-to-air with Channel 7. So it shows where the women's competition is at and also the belief in Network 7. So please, a round of applause for our broadcasters. Now, before we get the awards underway, let's take a look at how the 2017 VFL Women's Best and Fairest is unfolding after 5 rounds. Let's take a look on your screen. So after 5 rounds, you can see 2 players there on 8 votes. That is Ali Blackburn from Melbourne Uni and Emma King from the Eastern Devils. 2 players on 6 votes, and that's Sarah Jolly from VU Western Spurs and Lily Mithen from Geelong. And then we have a group of 5 players there on 5 votes. So that is where it stands. We're just teasing you a little bit with that. That is where it stands after 5 rounds. So let's get the awards underway, shall we? The Swiss VFL Women's Awards. And our first award is the leading goal kicker. The Choose Tap leading goal kicker at the completion of 2017 of the Swiss Wellness VFL home and away season has certainly been well documented and probably won't be a surprise to anyone. Please welcome, first of all, up onto stage Andrew Dillon, who is representing the AFL, to help us present this award. Give him a round of applause, make him feel welcome. Andrew. Congratulations, in 3rd position with 22 goals, Darcy Vesio from Darebin Falcons. Please give her a round of applause. Well done, Darcy. With 28 goals in 2nd position from the St Kilda Sharks, congratulations to Jasmine Garner. And for 2017, the Choose Tap VFL Women's leading goal kickers, we have a tie with 32 goals. Congratulations, Katie Brennan and Chloe Malloy. As the girls make their way up to stage, let's take a look at the magic of Katie and Chloe in 2017. Step forward. To both of you, can I ask you, coming into that last round, did you realise how close it was? Were you aware of it?
I did have an idea of how many KDs we played on Saturday, and our game was the next day, and I knew that I needed one to draw and 2 wins. That was nice when I picked one.
Katie, you were coming home like a steam train over the last 3 games of the regular season, 20 goals and 5 in the last game. So you really made sure you set the standard, at least tied, actually got 1 ahead of Chloe. Did you think that was going to be enough?
I guess after kicking those 5, I knew that I was only a couple ahead, and you sort of leave that up to the universe. But I think Chloe did a fantastic job leading all year, and she's such a superstar coming through this AFL Victoria competition and will be a future star of AFL women, so it's great to share this award with her today.
Chloe, because it was your first season this year in the VFL Women's, were you thinking about the fact that you had to just get one to tie or one more to win, or were you being a good girl and focusing on the process?
I can't say that I wasn't thinking about the goals because I was, but no, that was a big game for us. That was going to seal us with the double chance, so more emphasis was on winning the game than actually getting the goal, but fortunate enough to get the goal and also the win.
So Diamond Creek are through to the grand final, but you're waiting to see who you're up against, whether it's going to be Darebin or St Kilda. Who would you prefer to take on? Presuming that Katie's standing right beside you, so...
I think it'd be a good battle. It'd be a good game. I think Darebin have got a bit of fire in their belly now, but I think it could go either way. I'm not going to set myself on a team. I wish them both the best.
And Katie, how are your girls looking? How are the Falcons looking? Are you going to get through to a grand final?
Yeah, I guess, you know, we've got a very experienced team. Off the back of the loss on the weekend, I think there's a lot of fire in the belly for us. And, you know, we've had a pretty tough season with a fair few injuries, and we started to get some continuity towards the end, and we're playing really good football. So I'm sure this loss will just give us a bit more of a kick up the bum, and hopefully we can carry our good form through to next week and hopefully meet Chloe and the Diamond Creek girls in the grand final.
Well, congratulations. Everybody, please join me in congratulating Chloe and Katie on taking out the Leading Goal Kicker Award. Well done. I'll take both of those from you. Thank you. Our next presentation is the VFL Women's Rising Star Medal. Would you please welcome onto the stage Sarah Hosking, who is the 2016 Rising Star recipient, to help us with presenting this award. The inaugural Rising Star Award to the most promising young player in the Victorian Football League. Clearly, Sarah taking that out last year. This year, the award will also recognise an up-and-coming player in the competition. And the criteria to meet for this is that the player must also be under 24 years of age and not on an AFL list. Before we announce the winner for 2017, let's take a look at the nominees for this award. So there are the finalists. There are 9 extraordinary, young, talented football players that are nominated. Please join me in giving them a very warm round of applause for making it through. It's my pleasure to announce the winner of the 2017 Rising Star Medal is Chloe Malloy. Everybody, please, a round of applause for Chloe Malloy. What a season. It's been quite a journey for you, hasn't it? You were a basketballer, a footballer, then a basketballer, and you had a great opportunity to go across to US College, but football was always the passion and always calling. So you made a pretty hard, tough decision, didn't you?
Yeah, that, like I've said a few times, it was one of the biggest decisions I've had to make in such a short, young football career, even just in life in general. But I don't regret the decision, which is really comforting.
Did you feel like when you stopped when you were under 12s, part of it was also because you couldn't quite see where the progression was going to be, so you moved across to basketball, and then you started to see what the progression was going to be for VFL Women's and AFL Women's?
Yeah, well, I obviously was out for that, and then away from all the women's footy and had no idea that there was a women's pathway. And then I had a friend who was playing, and I could say I was pretty jealous that she was playing, and it just made me want to get out there, and obviously that's what I did, and I'm out there playing now.
It's been a pretty remarkable debut season. I just wanted to read some of Scotty Gowan's, what he said about you, the coach at Diamond Creek. He said, it's rare that you get a person, male or female, that can come into a game and fit in straight away from a skills and execution perspective. She receives feedback really well and is still learning the game, and that is why I think she'll be a success in footy. Now, he moved you around quite a bit this year, though, didn't he? How did you find that?
I thought that's probably the best thing that he could have done for me, because I'd already proven in the first few rounds that I could kick goals, and I could impact the forward, and he put me in the best position to be drafted, and not to be that one position player, really make me diverse, and which is more attractive to AFL women's clubs.
So he's made you diverse, but what do you love? What position do you love? Where do you see yourself playing?
For now, I'm just finding my feet in the forward line. I did enjoy the tagging role that he made me do, and really enjoying the mid. So I think through to the forward, and then maybe in a few years head into the mid.
Finally, let's just look ahead for the draft. You've nominated for the draft, a great experience for you. And there's a lot of people talking that you could go in the first couple of picks. How do you feel about it?
I haven't heard that, but I get, it's crazy to think that, bizarre even, that to come back into football and then have your name thrown around with Izzy as well, and Mon in the top 5 even. I don't know how to take it, and just, I guess nothing's a sure thing till draft day, so just really looking forward to that and not getting my hopes up.
Well, good luck in the final come September, and we look forward to seeing you on the tally. How do you feel about making your free-to-air debut as well? That's pretty cool.
I hope I don't put a few pounds on.
No, you won't. Everybody, please thank Chloe Malloy. What a star. Well done. We're now going to turn our attention to the 2017 Swiss VFL Women's Team of the Year, and I would like to invite up to the stage, first of all, to present the VFL Coach of the Year. Please welcome Alison McNeil, who is the Corporate Partnerships Manager from Swiss. She's going to come forward to present the 2017 Swiss VFL Women's Coach of the Year. Please give her a warm welcome. We're very pleased to say that the 2017 Swiss VFL Women's Coach of the Year goes to Paul Hood from Geelong Cats. Chat to you yet. I'm going to get you to welcome the team. So I'm not going to chat to Paul just yet, because he's got a very important duty as we thank Alison, who is exiting the stage. Thank you to Swiss for their support of our women's football. Paul, I'm going to get you to stay on stage with me. I will talk to you in just a moment, because we're going to turn our attention to the screen to reveal the 2017 Swiss VFL Women's Team of the Year. Here we go. So, the back line, first of all, Gabrielle Pound from Melbourne University, Nicola Stevens, Melbourne University, Tanya Hetherington, Diamond Creek. Please welcome the back line. Girls, come up on stage. And as the girls make their way, let's take a look at the halfback line. And Caitlin Ashmore from Melbourne University, congratulations to you. Melissa Hickey from the Darebin Falcons, well done. And Karen Paxman, also from the Darebin Falcons. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Big round of applause. There you go. Let's take a look at the centres. Congratulations to Emma Kearney from Melbourne University. Brianna Davey from St Kilda Sharks. And Rochelle Cranston from the Geelong Cats. Let's go to the half-forward line. Congratulations to Lily Mithen from the Geelong Cats. Jasmine Garner from the St Kilda Sharks. And Katie Brennan from the Darebin Falcons. Our forwards for the 2017 Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Team of the Year. Well done, Chloe Malloy, Diamond Creek. Darcy Vesio, Darebin Falcons. And Sarah Jolly from the VU Western Spurs. Let's go to the rucks. From the Eastern Devils, well done, Emma King. From Melbourne University, Ali Blackburn. And Daisy Pearce from the Darebin Falcons. Let's look at the interchange. Melissa Kais from Box Hill Hawks. Alison Downey, Diamond Creek. And Stephanie Cucci, well done to you, also from Diamond Creek. Also interchange, Gemma Bruton from the St Kilda Sharks. Sarah Hosking from Seaford. And Ashley Riddle from Diamond Creek. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2017 Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Team of the Year. Please give them a very, very big round of applause. Well done on the year. And we will invite Paul to come forward to have a chat. Congratulations to you. How do you feel? Step forward. How do you feel about being announced as the Coach of the Year?
Yeah, it's a fantastic honour. There's some terrific coaches throughout the competition. But most importantly, just really proud to be associated with women's football in Victoria. It's been a brilliant year. We've all had a great time, and thanks to the support of everyone in the room, it's terrific. Nicely said. Now, is your first year of coaching female footy? What was the difference between coaching men and coaching women? Just dealing with the smiles all the time. The girls are fantastic, just having a great time, and just so inclusive, such a welcoming team and environment and competition. It was terrific. Let me ask you about the Geelong Cats and the year that you had. Could you sum up the year you went into, or you finished off the year with 8 wins and 6 losses, so a pretty good year. Yeah, it was terrific. The girls really developed as a team over the season. They worked really hard on their game, and we had fantastic support from the Geelong community, and had a terrific time. What were you trying to do in this year with the girls? Were you trying to teach them and guide them? What were some of the things that you wanted them to learn? I think just about how to develop yourself as well as you can to play on the weekends. We had a really solid strength and conditioning program led by Monica Kelly, and she did a great job preparing our girls and also grow the game in the Geelong region. That was terrific that we were able to have our players get out to local clubs and spread the message of women's footy. So after this year, you've got plenty to build from, you've got a great stable of talent coming through, and you've got pretty amazing facilities, haven't you? Yeah, we've been very fortunate to start a team at the right time in Geelong, and yeah, it's been terrific. Everybody, please congratulate not only Paul Hood for being Coach of the Year, but also our 2017 Swiss Women's Team of the Year. Well done. Congratulations.
So I will ask all of the players to come off stage along with Paul, because we're going to get you into the media room so that you can all have a photo together to celebrate being part of the 2017 Team of the Year. Please give them a warm round of applause as they go down. And as they do that, we are going to take a break for your main meal. So please enjoy your main meal, and Nigel will be back shortly to recommence the awards. Thank you.
She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis does horses, America too. And it's a long day living in the cedars. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I'm a bad boy. Don't even miss her, 'cause I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. 'Cause I'm free, so free falling. Yes, I'm free, so free falling. And all the vampires walking through the valley, they move east on Ventura Boulevard. And all the bad boys hide in the shadow, and all the good girls, they would only broken hearts. 'Cause I'm free, so free falling. 'Cause I'm free, so free falling. Oh. I wanted back down over my heart. I'm gonna ride her tonight in the sky. I'm gonna free falling out into nothing. I'm gonna leave this world. 'Cause I'm free, so free falling. 'cause I'm free, yeah. So free falling, free falling, yeah. 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 Free falling, free falling, yeah. Free
Thank you very much.
World is on fire, no one can save me but you. It's strange what desire makes foolish people do. I've never dreamed that I'd need somebody like you. I've never dreamed that I'd need somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This girl is only gonna break your heart. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This girl is only gonna break your heart with you. What a wicked game you played to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say. You never felt that way. What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. And no, I don't wanna fall in love. This girl is only gonna break your heart. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This girl is only gonna break your heart with you. fun. No one can save me but you. Strange what desire makes foolish people do. I've never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. I've never dreamed that I'd be somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. Scared it's only gonna break your heart. No, I don't wanna fall in love. That monkey's only gonna give you AIDS. No, that racist monkey's gonna give you AIDS. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Racist monkey's gonna give you AIDS. That racist monkey's gonna give you AIDS. The racist monkey's gonna give you AIDS. No monkey loves no
Thank you very much.
just lean on. Yeah.
Mute me, baby, mute me.
Hello everyone, hope you're enjoying your main course. I have good news. Goy Locke is on his way to Crown Palladium. Stay tuned. The ATOD medal coming up shortly. Welcome back to the 2017 VFL Best and Fairest. Hi to everyone watching at home, anywhere around the country or the world via vfl.com.au. Big thanks to our entertainment this evening. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Russell Robertson and Phil Sobrano doing a wonderful job in the centre of Palladium. We gave you a look at the JJ Liston Trophy leaderboard through 6 rounds earlier on. We'll now fast forward to round 11 in the season, and the leaderboard looks like this. Anthony Miles has made his move in the count. Definitely worthy of a round of applause given Richmond's fortunes at the moment. Anthony Miles had 4 best on grounds through the first 11 rounds, including round 10 against the Northern Blues, round 11 against Essendon. He moves to 12 votes. Moving with him is Jacob Townsend, who was on our leaderboard a little bit earlier on. Adam Marcon, who of course we saw on stage a little bit earlier in the evening, the 2015 Fothergill round medalist, trying to become the 2017 JJ Liston Trophy winner. Matt Hansen from Werribee heads a group of players, 5 in total, on 8 votes. The Werribee skipper and VFL state team representative had best on grounds in round 7 and round 9. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, off the leaderboard here we have a further 5 players on 7 votes, including Collingwood's Mason Cox, who was best of field in round 7 against Sandringham and round 10 against Port Melbourne, and then a further 6 players on 6 votes, including Box Hill's Ty Vickery, Williamstown's Brett Bewley and Lucas Webb from Footscray as well, alongside Jay Kennedy Harris from the Casey Demons. One of the great things about the VFL Best and Fairest evening is the opportunity to induct life members into what is already an esteemed group, and we've had many great servants over the years grace this stage as a result of their service to the game, be it playing, be it coaching, or of course in an administrative capacity for the various clubs across the VFL competition. And I'd like to ask AFL Victoria Chairman Ray Horsburgh to the stage for the presentation of the 2017 VFL Life members. Good evening, Ray. Round of applause for Ray, please. And it is with the greatest of pleasure that I can announce the following life members. As I read your name, please, can you come forward to receive your pin and certificate from Ray, and then stay on stage as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our first inductee for the evening is a man who's been Port Melbourne's coach since 2008. He qualified under the automatic life membership criteria of 175 games. He's topped that. He coached his 200th game in round 17 against Coburg. A wonderful person in our competition. Gary Ayres from Port Melbourne is an AFL Victoria life member. Our second inductee is a player whose career has flourished under the coaching of Gary Ayres. He qualifies having played his 175th senior match for Port Melbourne in round one against the Northern Blues, and he was a star again yesterday for the Borough in their win over Footscray. A very warm congratulations to Port Melbourne star Chris Kane on becoming an AFL Victoria Life member. Our next playing inductee is a now retired player, but his career was nothing short of superb. He was a two-time JJ Liston Trophy winner in 2010 and 2013, a premiership player with his club and also a three-time member of the VFL Team of the Year. He also spent some time, of course, with the GWS Giants in their early days in the AFL system. Congratulations to North Ballarat Rooster champion Steve Clifton on joining the AFL Victoria Life members group. Our next inductee is a coach, and what a coach he is too. A premiership coach with Sandringham and Williamstown. The first of those premierships coming a remarkable 20 years ago with the Zebras. He was previously in charge, of course, of Box Hill and Coburg, and he coached his 200th senior VFL match against Werribee in round 17. Warm round of applause, please, for a doyen of coaching this competition, Andy Collins, who tonight becomes an AFL Victoria Life member. And joining Andy is the third coach on stage as an inductee in this year's AFL Victoria Life member group. Is a man who's coached Coburg, Casey and Williamstown for the past 9 seasons. He's given the competition great service and bows out after 4 years leading the Lions as a standalone team. Peter German is now an AFL Victoria Life member. Three Life members remain, all men who've made a significant contribution to the competition and their clubs off the field. The first of them is Barry Josephs. As Barry makes his way to stage, a superb contribution over 35 years to the VFL tribunal system for the VFL, the TAC Cup men's and the TAC Cup women's competitions. So Barry Josephs, congratulations on becoming an AFL Victoria Life member. Our next inductee is David Lyons. David was nominated by Werribee. His contribution spans 22 years, ranging in roles from player, runner, chairman of selectors, board member and treasurer. A very deep CV and one well and truly worthy of becoming an AFL Vic Life member. And ladies and gentlemen, the final man to join our esteemed group on stage as a Life member for 2017 made a contribution of over 30 years to the VFL tribunal system for the VFL TAC Cup men's and TAC Cup women's competition. Ladies and gentlemen, our last inductee of the evening to the AFL Victoria Life member class of 2017, Eddie Power. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause please for our 2017 class of AFL Victoria Life members. And I'll ask Gary Ayres to join me centre of stage for a chat on behalf of the group. Ayresy, you've done a lot in the game. Where does AFL Victoria Life membership sit?
Oh, it sits right up there, obviously. When you've got grey hair like me and, you know, a little bit grey like Germo, we've probably been around a fair while. So, but it's a great honour, and obviously you'd probably think that you've got to have Germo's passion to actually be able to go the journey. You've probably got to have Colo's patience, I guess, to be able to stick at it each week. But, you know, I think we've all got the passion for the job, and we're very, very proud and I suppose pretty humble about the fact that we're going to be alongside some great names that have esteemed themselves in history over a long period of time.
How important are days like yesterday, where we've got the sun shining at Fort Burn Stadium as it's known currently, and good crowd turns up to watch Footscray and Port Melbourne, two distinct clubs, go head-to-head, and fast forward to Sunday, Williamstown, Port Melbourne for the 251st time in a preliminary final. It's a really crucial day for the competition, isn't it?
Well, I think it is, and look, obviously there'll be one VFL standalone team that'll go through to the grand final, and you know, Colo's done a superb job, and obviously Craig McRae at Richmond as well, and of course Chris Newman in his first year at Box Hill as well. So for, I guess, all of us that are there, it's a huge honour, and we just want to obviously display all the virtues of the VFL competition because it's the best outside the AFL, and it was great to see, I guess, us go at it with Footscray yesterday, and that was a great game, and the crowd itself, and you know, we've obviously had a tough year this year on the field, with obviously the well-documented debt and all that, but our boys are galvanised by that, I guess, and they just keep producing. But yeah, we really want to make sure that the VFL competition is obviously one that just produces really good footballers, good people, and obviously we want to attract the crowds to get down there and, as I said, watch the best competition outside the AFL.
Well, from a player and a broadcaster, it's been a privilege to have you a part of our competition. You've given your club and the league great service, and I'm sure a great representative of the men behind you as well. Congratulations on your contribution.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for Gary Ayres from Port Melbourne. And Ayresy, I'll allow you to thank anyone you'd like to.
Yeah, thanks very much, Nige. On behalf of obviously these esteemed gentlemen behind, we'd like to thank Steve Reaper and the AFL Victoria Board. Obviously, it's great recognition for, I guess, a cross-section of what VFL football's all about, whether you're a part of the tribunal, whether you're a volunteer that puts in the hard yards, or whether you're a coach or whether you're a player. And I think that's what makes our game such a great and unique environment. And obviously, even though this is an individual award for us, I think also too, on behalf of all the recipients, I'd like to thank all our families and all our partners, because they put up with a lot. They sacrificed a lot, and we just do the time. So, but very humbling, being able to put all our names up there with all the great people who are life members before us. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, for one last time, a round of applause for our group of inductees to AFL Victoria Life membership in 2017. We now move to another really important part of any VFL Best and Fairest Awards evening, and that's the presentation of the Alec Gillen Award for 2017. The Alec Gillen Award is awarded in recognition of honorary club officials who have provided outstanding service to their club or football in general, and it's with great pleasure that AFL Victoria and the VFL congratulate Lindsay Wilson from the Box Hill Hawks with the Alec Gillen Award for 2017. I'd like to invite Grant O'Reilly from AFL Victoria, one of their board members, to come forward to present Lindsay with his award. And as Lindsay makes his way to stage, ladies and gentlemen, some insight into his service. There's no highlight reel, but there's highlights aplenty. Lindsay Wilson served the Box Hill Hawks Football Club for generations. As early as a player in 1967, he's maintained an involvement with the club ever since, in several roles, up to and including this year. 2017 marks 50 years service to the Box Hill Hawks Football Club, which is undoubtedly an outstanding feat. And tonight we thank Lindsay for his commitment and continued service to football. His commitment is deeply valued by not only the Box Hill Hawks, but by also all involved in football in Victoria. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for the 2017 Alec Gillen Award winner, Lindsay Wilson.
We're on.
We're on.
50 years.
A little bit more, actually.
They left a bit off?
Yeah, left a bit off. I originally started selling records at Box Hill when I was 10 years old. I'm 66 now. Bit long.
They were just the simple Mustangs once upon a time, now grown into an important club in the Whitehorse community. Obviously the affiliation with Hawthorn as well has changed the dynamic of the club, but how have you seen it grow and flourish across your time from what were really humble beginnings as a Division 2 VFA club? I'm
very happy the way that they sort of grew from humble backgrounds to where they are now. And a perfect example of that is when I started taking my wife out, I had to go to Yarraville for the daily flogging because my mother-in-law barracked for Yarraville. So after her husband died, we started taking her to the football, and in the end, she ended up being a life member at Box Hill. So between my wife, my mother-in-law, and my aunt, we've got over 100 years service. So hopefully we can go all the way.
I've read commentary that you've made that the games that really matter in the VFL are Williamstown and Port Melbourne. They're the ones you have to win.
Yep.
There's every chance you might meet them in a grand final in a couple of weeks. What would that mean to you? It's been a couple of years since the team made a grand final. It was a disappointing loss, and a couple of years prior to that, a premiership, but you can't get a chance to pull the boots on. But what's a premiership potentially mean to you in a fortnight, Lindsay?
Oh, well, it's a reward for all the hard work for the people around the club, but it's also a reward for the players for the time and effort they've put into the club. I think they've worked really hard. I think they've surprised quite a few clubs this year to where they are now, and I hope they can continue on, because the two most clubs that we have a rivalry with is Williamstown and Port Melbourne. So hopefully we win.
Got to get past the Tigers on Saturday, 2:30 on Saturday afternoon at Port Melbourne.
Got to think positive.
Absolutely. Impromptu question: who are the best three players you've seen pull on the Box Hill Hawks jumper in your time?
As a young man, Alec Gardner, and as a goal kicker, Ian Bates. And I like Chris Jones this year for the way he's really performed. The players that have really come ahead have just sort of come out of the blue, and I think it's a great reflection on the coaching staff to how we've been.
Absolutely. The stage is yours, Lindsay. Thank who you'd like to thank as part of your journey.
Well, I'd like to thank the coaches so they don't beat the telephones up in the coach's box, because I have to fix them every week. I've got a set of, I should put them on the wall, a set that people have beaten to death. I've sat with my wife on the lounge room table and, like a jigsaw puzzle, put them all back together. And so I've got a spare phone. That's about the blokes is like Tony Pimmel for where they've taken the club to the next step. The people behind the club, like John Ewer, they've really worked hard. There's the board at Hawthorn, who have put an awful lot of time in as well. And one thing I've found is that the administration don't stick their nose into football. It seems to work well. where other clubs it seems to be they try to run the club. But no, I'm very happy the way things are going, and go Hawks.
Hear, hear. Well, Lindsay, on behalf of anyone in the room who's ever pulled on a footy boot, thank you. 50 years of service to a footy club is just unbelievable, and may you continue to do it for many years, and hopefully for you and the Box Hill Hawks, you get your wish of a premiership granted in a couple of weeks. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for the 2017 Alec Gillen Award winner from the Box Hill Hawks, Lindsay Wilson. So we move to the naming of the 2017 Peter Jackson VFL Team of the Year. Players eligible for selection are VFL listed players only, so anyone who's played in the competition this year but currently resides on an AFL list is ineligible for selection. I'd like to invite forward AFL Victoria's John Hook, whose previous appearance involved trying to put a medal on someone who wasn't here, to announce the VFL Team of the Year's Coach of the Year. Hookie, let's see if we can strike this one.
I hope he's here tonight. We are blessed with some fantastic coaches in this competition, and the coach who's been voted the coach of the 2017 Team of the Year is a coach who's in his first year after an illustrious playing career with the Richmond Football Club. Everyone knows it's Chris Newman from the Box Hill Hawks.
Congrats to Chris. Outstanding job to be named Coach of the Year in your first season in charge. Let's reveal the 2017 Peter Jackson VFL Team of the Year. As each player is announced, can they please make their way onto stage and remain until the announcement is complete? We begin with the back line, and for the third year in the back, or for the third time in his career in the back pocket, Luke Tynan from Port Melbourne. Our fullback, Sean Gregory from the Coburg Lions. And in the other back pocket, Marty Hoare from the Collingwood Football Club. The halfback line, this man heading towards the state combine in a few weeks' time from Williamstown, Brett Bewley. Man who had the most marks in the competition this season from the Northern Blues, Cam O'Shea, centre half back. And for the second straight season on a half-back flank in the VFL Team of the Year, Damien Mercedes from Port Melbourne. Our centre line, this man had the most kicks in the VFL this season from Port Melbourne, Eli Templeton. For the third straight year, Matt Hanson from Werribee finds himself in the VFL Team of the Year as the centreman. And Geelong's 2017 Best and Fairest, James Cheetas, is named on a wing. To our half-forward line, the 2017 Fothergill Round medalist Bailey Fritsch from the Casey Demons at half-forward. Alongside him, another emerging star of the competition in Alex Boyce from Essendon. And at half-forward, the 2016 JJ Liston Trophy winner, Williamstown's Michael Gibbons. To our forward line, and the preeminent goal sneak in the competition this year, his first year after crossing from Frankston to Williamstown, Ben Cavara. Makes sense to name our Frosty Miller medalist at full forward, Jordan Lyle from Port Melbourne. And a man who 2 years ago was the ATOD medalist in the Development League, and he's now forward pocket in the VFL Team of the Year, Dylan Conway from Port Melbourne. Our rucks, and no surprise that over 1,000 hitouts will get you the berth as the ruckman, Nick Meese from Williamstown. Joining him is VFL representative Andrew Moore from the Box Hill Hawks. And for the third time in 4 seasons, Willie Wheeler from Williamstown makes his way into the VFL Team of the Year. We have a 6-man interchange, some of them with some unfinished business left in season 2017, starting with Jacob Ballard from Richmond. His former teammate, now opponent from Williamstown for the 4th time in the Team of the Year, Adam Marcon from Williamstown. And a man who battled through a very painful knee injury yesterday to kick a couple of important goals for the Bulldogs in their semi-final, Nick Jamieson. Our final 3 players in the 2017 Peter Jackson VFL Team of the Year. From the Box Hill Hawks, Anthony Brolick. The 2017 Frank Johnson medalist as Best Man of Field for Victoria in the state game, Port Melbourne's Tom O'Sullivan. And the final spot in the 2017 Peter Jackson VFL Team of the Year goes to Coburg's Liam Hunt. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 Peter Jackson VFL Team of the Year. A round of applause. Chris Newman's nearly worked his way off stage with all these bodies. Come in here, Newey. Congrats, mate. What a great honour to be named as Coach of the Team of the Year in your first year in charge.
Yeah, obviously extremely humbling to be up here in front of some obviously very talented coaches in the room. We just heard from some Life members before. I congratulate those guys for those awards. But obviously this is a reflection of the entire crew at Box Hill and Hawthorn, and a reflection of all the hard work that the coaching panel have put in Ricky Pettit, Matt Adolf and Max Bailey. You know, you see all the hard work that he puts in around the club, and the boys see him as they come through the gate to park their cars. You know, it's people like that that really are the heartbeat of your football club, and you know, I congratulate Lindsay on 50 years of service. Is just absolutely outstanding. So we'll be doing our best to get him that premiership.
Wish you all the best for the weekend and hopefully beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, 2017 Peter Jackson VFL Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, Chris Newman.
Thanks, mate.
From the Box Hill Hawks. Gentlemen, congrats. If I can ask you to head towards the media room at the back of the Palladium for some photos and also to grab some memorabilia commemorating your year, you may venture on your way, led by the Moose, of course. You can be for the purposes of walking everyone to the photo. Thanks, gentlemen, and congrats. This is untimed, but I'm going to look to my good friends from the Casey Demons to my left in Palladium. Can you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Do we have Goy Locke in the building yet? Negative. He's not just down at Galactic Circus playing Daytona, is he? He knows he's here for something important. We'll get him eventually. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to fast forward the JJ Liston trophy count as we head to our break to round 13. And Jacob Townsend has made his move. He hits the lead after a best on ground performance in round 12 against Casey at Holm Park Reserve in Beaconsfield. He had 30 possessions and 14 tackles in the wet. He's now in front of his teammate Anthony Miles by 2 votes. Michael Gibbons is the other big mover in the middle part of the season. He played a couple of electric games of footy, round 12 against Box Hill and round 13 against Collingwood. He had a collective 72 possessions and kicked 6 goals in 8 quarters of footy, 2 best on grounds, and after winning last year's award, he's now moved himself right into contention, tied for 3rd on 11 votes, along with Matt Hansen from Werribee. Adam Marcon, Mitch Honeychurch on 9 votes. There are 6 players on 8 votes, interestingly enough, including Andrew Swallow, Jared Blair and Toby Pinwell from Port Melbourne as well. We're going to head for a break, ladies and gentlemen. Nicole Livingston will be back shortly with the counting of votes in the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Best and Fairest, and hopefully, Goy Locke will appear at some stage.
took me up. Said she's gonna find a way. It's smoldering in. If you get lost, come on up to Great River. Oh, yeah. Born on the bayou, born on the bayou, yeah. Born on the bayou, do 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 do. Over on the mountain, there was such a don't you don't go walking slow. The devil's on the loose, gonna run through the jungle, run through the jungle, run through the jungle. I'll bound it up back to sea. So long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know been coming for some time. See forever on and goes. The essence all I know. Shining down low. See, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? See, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Is it coming down Sunday? Isn't there days before the rain was gonna summer long? I know it's been that way before my time. Either's it forever slow, yeah. We threw that surface and so I know it can't help but wonder. See, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? See, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Is it coming down sunny day? Going down on a summer day. See, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? See, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Is it coming down on a sunny day?
She's over there.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, here's an 80s song. The summer's out of reach, and late in the streets, sun going down alone. I'm driving by your house, don't know you're not home. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. See your hair with your sunglasses on, baby. And I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of Sunday have gone. Can't forget those nights, what if it was a dream? Remember how you made me crazy? Remember how I made you scream? And I don't understand what is happening to our love. But baby, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. I can see you, yeah, your brown skin shining in the summer. I see it real slow when you're smiling at everyone, and I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys soon have gone on.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's all pretend it's 7:45 p.m. again. The winner of the 2017 ATOD medal from the Casey Demons on 11 votes, and he's in the building, Goy Locke. And I'll welcome forward for the third time this evening, John Hook from AFL Victoria to present Goy with the ATOD medal.
Hi, mate.
How you going?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty nervous.
So, just lift that up a little bit so everyone can hear. So we read your name out at 7:45. It's now 9:20 and change. Tell us what's happened in the last hour and a half of your life.
Well, around 7:45, I was getting halfway through training in Cranbourne. So after training, I've got in the shower, about to go home. One of the coaches comes out and it's like, you meant to be somewhere? And he's said, you've won the reserves thing, the reserves medal. And Danny Ryan over there has told me to go get showered, go home, get a suit on and get in the car and come to Crown. So, I'm here.
It's not your average Monday night?
Nah.
I was told, reliably informed, you were going to rock up in a tracksuit. So, well done for actually having the presence of mind to go home and put a suit on.
Oh, I had my shorts on. That was the
Right.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. You would have been the first person ever to get a Best and Fairest award in a pair of shorts, I would have thought.
Oh, I heard Crown, so I had to say, put some clothes on.
Clever.
Yeah.
All this aside, outstanding year, history, probably the last person to ever win this award. You incidentally won it with one vote in the final game of the season, I think, against Werribee. So 11 votes to beat Mitch Golby, who's played 56 AFL games, so no mean feat there. You also got a chance to taste senior VFL footy this year. What was the step up like from TAC Cup and your time at Sandringham?
Obviously, the game's a bit faster, bigger bodies, so all that, you just had to absorb it and play week in, week out.
How's footy helped you settle into Australia? You've come from Sudan, played junior footy at North Vale. What's it done for you in your life in Australia and also for your family as well?
Footy, I've loved footy ever since I touched the ball, so it was an easy transition. Trying to play out every week with school as well, just lunchtime sort of things, those making friends, going around Australia sort of thing, and yeah, it was very helpful.
5th in a Morrish last year, winner of an ATOD medal now. Grand final to look forward to on Sunday. How are you looking forward to that against Williamstown?
Oh, and it's an absolute honour to win this award, especially as last season. So yeah, I really am honoured for it. This week I was in a granny last year, so I'm just trying to do what I did last year, and hopefully we get a win with the boys.
Have you had dinner?
I have not eaten.
All right, we're going to try and organise a meal.
I'm starving.
You grab a seat. Don't go to the food court. I reckon we can do better than that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's here, and he's the 2017 ATOD medalist.
Thanks.
Guy Locke from the Casey Demons. Well done, buddy.
No worries.
Grab a seat. As someone mentioned to me before, I reckon 20 people in the room would have known Goy Locke walking in tonight. All 500 of you know who he is right now. Be a good story at work or around the water cooler tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, a slight deviation from our run sheet, but now time to welcome back my co-host, Nicole Livingston, to take us through the counting of votes for the second Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Best and Fairest. Please welcome Nicole back to stage.
Thanks very much, Nige. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time, as Nigel said, to get underway with the VFL Women's Best and Fairest. A little earlier we saw the leaderboard after round number 5 of the season. And before we view the highlights of the year and start the rest of the count, let's take a look at the competition leaderboard after round number 9. So there it is there, a very quick move up for Brianna Davey from St Kilda Sharks. She leads it with 14 votes. Katie there in second with 10, Sarah with 9, and then 4 girls on 8. Below there is a further 4 girls on 7. So we have very much a race on our hands to announce the best and fairest for 2017. Let's take a look now at the screen and we'll see the VFL Women's season up to and including round number 11. So there you have it, some of the highlights of the women's season up until round number 11. So we've seen the leaderboard up until round number 9. Would you please welcome out to the stage to take us through the rest of the count for the VFL Women's Best and Fairest, Jess Smith, the Talent Operations Officer for AFL Victoria, and John Hook, who is the Competitions Manager for AFL Victoria. Please give them a very warm welcome.
Round 10, Darebin Falcons versus Geelong Cats. Darebin Falcons, L. Pearce, 1 vote. Darebin Falcons, D. Pearce, 2 votes. Darebin Falcons, K. Brennan, 3 votes. VU Western Spurs versus Seaford. Seaford, M. Tilley, 1 vote. VU Western Spurs, S. Lampard, 2 votes. VU Western Spurs, S. Scott, 3 votes. Cranbourne versus Box Hill. Box Hill Hawks, M. Kais, 1 vote. Cranbourne, B. Kennedy, 2 votes. Box Hill Hawks, J. Crockett Grills, 3 votes. Eastern Devils versus Melbourne Uni. Eastern Devils, S. Perkins, 1 vote. Melbourne Uni, E. Carney, 2 votes. Melbourne Uni, K. Shearlaw, 3 votes. Diamond Creek versus St Kilda Sharks. St Kilda Sharks, J. Colwell, 1 vote. St Kilda Sharks, M. Downey, 2 votes. Diamond Creek, E. Grant, 3 votes. That concludes round 10.
Thank you, Jess. Let's take a look at the leaderboard after round number 10. And there it is. So Brianna Davey, St Kilda on 14, Katie Brennan, Darebin on 13, Emma Carney is there from Melbourne Uni on 10, and you can see right through to Jenna Bruton from St Kilda with 8. We now head to round number 11.
Darebin Falcons versus Diamond Creek. Diamond Creek, K. Hicks, 1 vote. Darebin Falcons, D. Pearce, 2 votes. Darebin Falcons, K. Paxman, 3 votes. Box Hill Hawks versus Geelong Cats. Box Hill Hawks, E. Mackey, 1 vote. Box Hill Hawks, M. Hughes, 2 votes. Geelong Cats, R. Cranston, 3 votes. Seaford versus Cranbourne. Cranbourne, K. McLeod, 1 vote. Cranbourne, B. Jacobson, 2 votes. Cranbourne, B. Kennedy, 3 votes. Melbourne Uni versus VU Western Spurs. Melbourne Uni, N. Stevens, 1 vote. Melbourne Uni, M. Hope, 2 votes. Melbourne Uni, E. Carney, 3 votes. St Kilda Sharks versus Eastern Devils. Eastern Devils, M. Hutchins, 1 vote. Eastern Devils, K. Smith, 2 votes. St Kilda Sharks, J. Gardner, 3 votes. That concludes round 11.
And straight to the leaderboard after round number 11, the top 2 unchanged, and Emma Carney making a big move there from a vote point of view, sitting equal with Katie Brennan. Let's take a look now at the highlights of the VFL Women's rounds 12 to 14.
12. Geelong Cats versus VU Western Spurs. Geelong Cats, M. Boyd, 1 vote. VU Western Spurs, S. Lampard, 2 votes. Geelong Cats, Al Mithen, 3 votes. Melbourne Uni versus Cranbourne. Melbourne Uni, E. Carney, 1 vote. Melbourne Uni, M. Conti, 2 votes. Melbourne Uni, E. Blackburn, 3 votes. St Kilda Sharks versus Darebin Falcons. St Kilda Sharks, J. Bruton, 1 vote. Darebin Falcons, K. Paxman, 2 votes. Darebin Falcons, K. Brennan, 3 votes. Diamond Creek versus Box Hill Hawks. Diamond Creek, S. Chiocci, 1 vote. Diamond Creek, E. Grant, 2 votes. Diamond Creek, A. Riddle, 3 votes. Seaford versus Eastern Devils. Eastern Devils, Al Watton, 1 vote. Seaford, S. Hosking, 2 votes. Eastern Devils, M. Hutchins, 3 votes. That concludes round 12.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard after round 12, and we have a change of leader in the VFL women's leaderboard. It sees Katie Brennan leading with 16 votes. Brianna Davey there with 14 votes. Emma Carney from Melbourne Uni with 14 votes. Karen Paxman and Ali Blackburn round out the top votes. Let's go now to round number 13 votes.
Round 13. Box Hill Hawks versus Melbourne Uni. Box Hill Hawks, E. Mackey, 1 vote. Melbourne Uni, E. Blackburn, 2 votes. Melbourne Uni, M. Conti, 3 votes. Seaford versus Darebin Falcons. Darebin Falcons, M. Hickey, 1 vote. Darebin Falcons, D. Pearce, 2 votes. Darebin Falcons, K. Brennan, 3 votes. VU Western Spurs versus St Kilda. VU Western Spurs, E. Gamble, 1 vote. St Kilda Sharks, T. Lucas Rod, 2 votes. St Kilda Sharks, B. Davey, 3 votes. Geelong Cats versus Eastern Devils. Geelong Cats, A. Habib, 1 vote. Eastern Devils, R. Privatelli, 2 votes. Geelong Cats, R. Cranston, 3 votes. Cranbourne versus Diamond Creek. Diamond Creek, A. Downey, 1 vote. Diamond Creek, T. Hetherington, 2 votes. Diamond Creek, C. Malloy, 3 votes. That concludes round 13.
To the leaderboard now after round 13, and it sees Katie Brennan there with 19 votes, Brianna with 17, Emma 14, Ali with 13 and Karen with 11 votes. We turn now to the final vote count for round number 14. And ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for this, I do ask you to please make sure at your tables that you do have a glass that is charged. We'll now go to the vote count for round number 14.
Round 14, Seaford versus Box Hill Hawks. Box Hill Hawks, E. Gilder, 1 vote. Box Hill Hawks, E. Mackey, 2 votes. Box Hill Hawks, M. Kais, 3 votes. Eastern Devils versus Geelong Cats. Eastern Devils, S. Perkins, 1 vote. Eastern Devils, K. Smith, 2 votes. Eastern Devils, E. King, 3 votes. Melbourne Uni versus Diamond Creek. Diamond Creek, K. Loynes, 1 vote. Melbourne Uni, E. Carney, 2 votes. Diamond Creek, S. Chiocci, 3 votes. St Kilda Sharks versus Cranbourne. St Kilda Sharks, J. Colwell, 1 vote. St Kilda Sharks, M. Gay, 2 votes. St Kilda Sharks, T. Mercedes, 3 votes. Darebin Falcons versus VU Western Spurs. Darebin Falcons, E. O'Day, 1 vote. Darebin Falcons, K. Brennan, 2 votes. Darebin Falcons, A. O'Connor, 3 votes. I declare the winner of the 2017 Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Best and Fairest medal, Katie Brennan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the 2017 VFL Women's Best and Fairest Award winner, Katie Brennan from the Darebin Falcons. As she makes her way, let's take a look at her sensational season. To present the 2017 Best and Fairest medal, would you please welcome to the stage the 2016 winner, Daisy Pearce. Katie, how does it feel? Were you a bit nerve-wracked out there, or were you okay?
Towards the end, I think I was. I've actually been sick all day in bed, and I was actually ready to quietly dismiss myself and go back home. And then I saw the count, and I thought I decided to stay from there. But yeah, it was a nerve-wracking ending. But yeah, it's a bit of a shock to be standing up here right now.
Lucky you didn't disappear. Nigel would have sent out a search party to find you. How do you feel winning this 2017 Best and Fairest Award for the VFLW?
I guess I can't put it into words right now. This year for me was just to get the love of footy back. I had a pretty interrupted AFL women's season, and then again at the start of the season doing this ankle again. So I was a bit frustrated and just wanted to really sort of get the love of footy back and to just play with the Falcons again. Such a great group of girls and so much talent as well. So it was great to come back together after an amazing AFL women's season and be united again. So yeah, just to finish off in this light, I'm lost for words. I can't even speak.
Well, we'll work our way through because there are some words there, I know that. You made the decision 4 years ago to move to Melbourne to chase your footy dreams, and you stand here tonight being crowned as the best women's player in the VFL. Pretty worthwhile decision, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. I guess footy was always the love, and ever since we started playing the exhibition games where I first met, Daisy Pearce and Loz Arnell, Asta O'Connor, some of those household names from the AFL Women's. I wanted to be surrounded by those girls, and I idolised them. I still idolise them to this day, and to be playing next to those girls, it's an absolute dream come true. So yeah, the decision to move to Melbourne was probably the best that I've ever made, and to not only develop my football, be around great people, but also to be able to build a business and build a life down here. It's been an amazing journey.
The groundswell around the AFLW and the fact that you are now inspiring the next generation, how do you feel about that as well?
Yeah, it is an amazing feeling and something that, us girls are really proud of, and we hold it dear to us and make sure we do a good job. There's so much talent coming through, and as we saw Chloe Malloy cleaned up tonight, there's so many young girls who can now pull on a TAC jersey or a Victorian jersey and make their way through the elite pathways that we have, thanks to the incredible work by AFL Vic. you know, around Australia, and it's just going to be an amazing, you know, few years coming up for AFL Women's with all the talent coming through.
Behind every Best and Fairest award is a great team. Tell us about your team.
It's hard to explain the Falcons. It's just since day one, I think, you know, 4 years ago when I was a 19-year-old coming down to Melbourne, big city, and you just get this feeling, and we would all know this feeling within this room of a footy club, and it's more than that. It's an incredible culture, and it's a family, and on top of that, you're playing with some of the best girls in the AFL Women's, and some incredible people as well. So I love the Falcons, and I just think that there's so many great people there, and I'm so fortunate to be a part of such a great club.
Can you describe your own motivation? As a little girl, you probably dreamt about playing footy, didn't know whether or not you'd be able to continue to play footy into a grown-up little girl. Tell us about your motivation, particularly through injury, to continue to play the game that you love.
Yeah, I guess, you know, you grow up as a young girl not having those role models in a way, and only being able to look up to the men. I was very fortunate. Brisbane were in their glory days, and Jonathan Brown was probably my biggest role model, along with, I guess, the likes of Kathy Freeman and Bianca Chatfield. And I guess you had to find those inspirations from different sports, which is the beauty now that these young women have AFL Women's role models to grow up to and look at and sort of base their journey from that. But yeah, from there, I think, sorry, I've forgotten the question.
Your motivation.
My motivation.
It's a small window of opportunity for you, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I guess I'm quite a driven individual, and I've always wanted to make the most of, you know, my time as an athlete and, you know, my time as a business person and just across the board. So coming off the back of that AFL Women's injury, it really drove me to work harder, to tick all the small boxes as well, and really trust in the processes, and to get back out there and just enjoy footy again. I think you play your best footy when you're having fun, and it's been great to get back with the Falcons and really enjoy it.
One last thing to do, and that is the microphone is yours for any thank yous that you'd like to for season 2017.
I guess I'll start off by thanking the Falcons. It's been great to be back there. Again, some incredible talent, and I don't need to name them all, but there's so many people within that club that have made a big impact on my football journey and me as a person as well. So thank you for that. My family, my dad is definitely my hero, and probably he always says he taught me everything that I know, and he's probably my harshest critic but my biggest fan. So I thank him from the bottom of my heart, and my brother and my sister. My partner as well, just so much support, and through the rough times and the glory as well. So that's been incredible. And also, I guess this journey that we've been on now with the Western Bulldogs and the AFL Women's, I've got some Bulldogs teammates in the room from Melbourne Uni and various clubs as well. So it's great to be, and the VFL boys, sorry, Bill. It's great to be a part of such a great club going forward, and yeah, I really look forward to what's to come in 2018. But also thank you to Swiss for sponsoring the VFL Women's. It's great to have such a reputable brand come on board, and to Jess and Darren for doing all the hard work behind the scenes, and of course Josh for the mastermind behind AFL Women's. I'm sure I've forgotten many people, but thank you.
So congratulations to Katie. A really good remedy for feeling a little bit unwell before a qualifying final on the weekend is a glass of champagne. So ladies and gentlemen, could I please ask you to be on your feet with a glass as we toast the 2017 Best and Fairest winner for the VFLW. Congratulations to Katie Brennan. And a round of applause, if you can put your glass down. Well done. We are going to take a break, but just in case you were wondering about the leaderboard or the final standings post round 14, we will put them on the screen now as we take a dessert break, and Nigel will be back after the break with the counting of the JJ Liston Trophy. Thank you very much. Well done. Congratulations. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
I've been holding out so long, I've been sleeping all alone. Girl, I miss you. I've been sleeping all alone, waiting by the phone. I won't kiss you. Sometimes, so ooh, 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 ooh. So ooh, ooh, ooh. I've been howling in my sleep. You've been storming in my dreams. Oh, I miss you. And I've been waiting in the hall, waiting on your call when the phone rings. And it's just read him out. Well, he said, hey, what's the matter, man? We don't come around at 12 with some Puerto Rican girls that's just dying to meet you. We gonna bring a case of wine. I ain't gonna just mess a fool around like we used to. Say, ow, 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 ow. Say, ow, 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 ow. don't you come on, come back? I've been walking Central Park, singing at the dog, and people think that I'm crazy. Yeah, nothing on my shit, shuffling through the streets. I see people what's the matter with you, boy? Yeah, you know, sometimes I wanna say. Sometimes I wanna say to myself. Sometimes say. Say I belong to myself. It's you and no one else. Lord, I miss you. Say I be lying to myself. This is you and no one else. Lord, I miss you. Yeah, I miss you so much. The days that used to run. Say, oh, I miss you, child. I miss you, child. So long as it on, I miss you, child. Hey, Jermo, I miss you. Said, oh, I miss those days at West Park. Yeah, windy. Take it to the ridge, yeah. Oh, baby, why you wait so long? Yeah, said, ooh, baby, why you waiting so long? Why don't you come on, come on? Well, my feet, yeah. feel as they're upon their duty. They keep trying to tell me all you want to do is use me. And they're all my answer to all that use me stuff. Yeah, I said I wanna spread the news. If it feels this good getting you, just to keep on using me until you use me up. Until you use me up. Well, my brother, you stopped me right down and talked to me. And he told me that that I ought to not let you just walk on me. And I'm sure remember, but when I don't want you. Yeah, I said I wanna spread the news, and if it feels it's good getting used, then to keep on using me till you use me up. Until you use me up. Well, sometime, well, it's true you really do abuse me. You get me in a crowd of high-class people, and then you act real rude to me. When I'm baby, when I love you, I can't get enough. Yeah, I said I wanna spread the news. If it feels this good getting used, if you keep on using me till you use me up. Until you use me up.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If we could ask you to return to your tables, we're going to commence counting of the votes in the run towards finding out who will take out the 73rd JJ Liston Trophy. Earlier on, we saw the leaderboard as it stood through 13 rounds. We're going to take things forward one round to round 14. Have a look at the screens. Jacob Townsend led the count by 2. He now leads by 4 after polling 2 votes in Richmond's round 14 loss to Collingwood. And the man who joins the top 5 edged him out of the best on-ground votes in that round. Mason Cox, who had 47 hitouts that day for Collingwood, moves to 10 votes. So our top 5 through 14 rounds, headed by 2 Tigers, Jacob Townsend and Anthony Miles. And I'd ask you to keep your trained eyes on the screen for a look at the highlights of the Peter Jackson VFL season as captured by the cameras on 7's VFL Match of the Day coverage.
In the Marshall direction. Stripped of it by Reid. Well at a quick snap. He's nailed it. Francis stands tall and takes a wonderful contested pack mark. He finds Pickett, tries to step through 3 and somehow he does. Make it 4. Give it to Russell for the finish. For Wiedemann. Having an absolute day out. This might really work here for the Cats. Stewart keeps it low and dribbles it through. The AFL Campbell into the hands of Nahas. Open goal. Can he bounce it through? He can. Showtime for the Borough. Moore gets the elevator to the second floor. The back trying to do the body work. Puts a ball for Thomas. He goes long. Big fly. Dwyer. What a mark. English and Buzzer nominate Lang. Home. Here's Jamison. Off the hands of the ruck contest. Throws Buddha. Ball. Goal. Oh, what a fly from Sipos. Is he going to get the goal? He certainly is. That is a heck of a mark. Cassidy goes for it and kicks the goal of the day. Goes to the wing, big fly over the top, Stengel. In the wrong direction, Davis, the 23rd man gathers. Bouncing, goal. Oh, outstanding read. Awkward bounce, shadow, kicks a beauty. Oh, left. And it's Chris Mayne. Tries to arch his back, controlled it well, to dribble it through, end-to-end stuff. That is something brilliant by Canellan.
Some wonderful highlights from season 2017 in the Peter Jackson VFL. And let's hope there's more in store this weekend for 2 amazing preliminary finals. Gives me great pleasure to welcome back to the stage from AFL Victoria, John Hook. Joining him is Sam Sheehan, and they'll be the man charged with reading out the votes for the final few rounds. And we'll resume the count at round 15. Our leader is Richmond's Jacob Townsend on 16 votes.
Round 15. Northern Blues versus Geelong Cats. Geelong Cats, R. Stanley, 1 vote. Northern Blues, C. O'Shea, 2 votes. Northern Blues, N. Graham, 3 votes. Williamstown versus Footscray. Williamstown, B. Jolly, 1 vote. Williamstown, N. Meese, 2 votes. Williamstown, W. Wheeler, 3 votes. North Ballarat versus Richmond. Richmond, J. Short, 1 vote. Richmond, J. Townsend, 2 votes. Richmond, J. Graham, 3 votes. Collingwood versus Essendon. Essendon, A. Boyce, 1 vote. Collingwood, M. Hawke, 2 votes. Essendon, B. Howlett, 3 votes. Sandringham versus Box Hill Hawks. Sandringham, N. Wright, 1 vote. Box Hill Hawks, T. Miles, 2 votes. Box Hill Hawks, A. Moore, 3 votes. Casey Demons versus Coburg. Casey Demons, A. Brayshaw, 1 vote. Casey Demons, C. Maynard, 2 votes. Casey Demons, S. Wiedemann, 3 votes. Werribee versus Port Melbourne. Port Melbourne, J. Lyle, 1 vote. Werribee, J. Maceman, 2 votes. Werribee, D. McFarland, 3 votes. That concludes round 15.
So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 votes for Jacob Townsend, 25 possessions and 11 tackles against North Ballarat, who moves 6 clear of his teammate Anthony Miles. Michael Gibbons was ill and didn't play against Footscray in that round. He remains on 11. And off the leaderboard, Andrew Moore and Ben Howlett with best on-ground performances in their respective matches move to 9 votes. Sam Sheehan with the votes for round 16.
Round 16, Northern Blues versus Footscray. Footscray, W. Hayes, 1 vote. Footscray, B. Gowers, 2 votes. Northern Blues, T. Wilson, 3 votes. North Ballarat versus Port Melbourne. North Ballarat, O. Tate, 1 vote. Port Melbourne, D. Conway, 2 votes. Port Melbourne, D. Mercedes, 3 votes. Box Hill Hawks versus Geelong. Geelong, J. Jones, 1 vote. Box Hill Hawks, K. Stewart, 2 votes. Box Hill Hawks, W. Murphy, 3 votes. Sandringham versus Casey Demons. Casey Demons, A. Scott, 1 vote. Sandringham, J. Loney, 2 votes. Casey Demons, J. Hutchins, 3 votes. Werribee versus Collingwood. Collingwood, J. Aish, 1 vote. Collingwood, T. Broomhead, 2 votes. Collingwood, K. Kirby, 3 votes. Coburg versus Williamstown. Williamstown, A. Marcon, 1 vote. Williamstown, M. Gibbons, 2 votes. Williamstown, B. Kavara, 3 votes. That concludes round 16.
So Jacob Townsend has 1 more VFL game before he makes his ascension into Richmond's AFL team. Can he hang on? 5 votes clear of Michael Gibbons, who polled 2 votes against Coburg for his 32 possessions. Also getting votes in that game, Adam Marcon polling for the 5th game of his Peter Jackson VFL season with 1 vote. He moves into 10 votes. So it's Jacob Townsend with a 5-vote advantage. And as we pause, let's have a look at the highlights from the final 3 rounds of the Peter Jackson VFL season. Some wonderful highlights from a wonderful conclusion to a superb season. Here's John Hook with the votes for round 17.
Round 17, Essendon versus Box Hill Hawks. Box Hill Hawks, J. O'Meara, 1 vote. Box Hill Hawks, A. Moore, 2 votes. Essendon, D. Unan, 3 votes. Port Melbourne versus Coburg. Port Melbourne, K. Haratuku, 1 vote. Port Melbourne, J. Lyle, 2 votes. Port Melbourne, E. Templeton, 3 votes. Casey Demons versus Northern Blues. Casey Demons, J. Trengrove, 1 vote. Casey Demons, B. Kennedy, 2 votes. Casey Demons, D. Kelty, 3 votes. Geelong Cats versus Richmond. Geelong Cats, B. Reid, 1 vote. Geelong Cats, W. Buzzer, 2 votes. Geelong Cats, D. Lang, 3 votes. Collingwood versus North Ballarat. Collingwood, J. Hellier, 1 vote. Collingwood, T. Broomhead, 2 votes. Collingwood, G. Borthwick, 3 votes. Williamstown versus Werribee. Williamstown, L. Schultz, 1 vote. Williamstown, A. Marcon, 2 votes. Williamstown, W. Wheeler, 3 votes. That concludes round 17.
So, at round 17's conclusion, with 2 rounds left in counting the 73rd JJ Liston Trophy, Jacob Townsend had 25 possessions, did not poll a vote, and does not play another VFL game in the run home. Of course, he made his way into Richmond's AFL team at this point. He is on 18. 2 votes to Adam Marcon for 25 touches and 2 goals. Moves himself into 3rd place on 12 votes, tied with Anthony Miles and Willie Wheeler, who incidentally has had 3 best on grounds in the last 4 games. An absolutely rattling finish to the year for Williamstown's Team of the Year member. Here's Sam Sheehan with the votes for round 18.
Round 18, Essendon versus Footscray. Essendon, K. Langford, 1 vote. Footscray, L. Webb, 2 votes. Essendon, N. O'Brien, 3 votes. Werribee versus Northern Blues. Northern Blues, A. Gallucci, 1 vote. Werribee, M. Hanson, 2 votes. Northern Blues, T. Wilson, 3 votes. Coburg versus North Ballarat. Coburg, S. Gregory, 1 vote. North Ballarat, A. Hooper, 2 votes. Coburg, N. Blair, 3 votes. Collingwood versus Geelong. Geelong, R. Abbott, 1 vote. Collingwood, J. White, 2 votes. Geelong, T. Atkins, 3 votes. Casey Demons versus Williamstown. Casey Demons, J. Kennedy Harris, 1 vote. Williamstown, N. Meese, 2 votes. Casey Demons, J. Munro, 3 votes. Richmond versus Sandringham. Richmond, S. Bolton, 1 vote. Richmond, J. Batchelor, 2 votes. Richmond, S. Lloyd, 3 votes. Box Hill Hawks versus Port Melbourne. Port Melbourne, J. Lyle, 1 vote. Box Hill Hawks, D. Mirror, 2 votes. Port Melbourne, T. Pinwell, 3 votes. That concludes round 18.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with Casey's win over Williamstown denying Michael Gibbons and Adam Marcon votes, Jacob Townsend into an unassailable lead on 18 votes. Matt Hanson's 2 votes in the loss to the Northern Blues takes him into equal 2nd place on 13 votes. Here's John Hook with the final round votes.
Round 19, Footscray versus Williamstown. Williamstown, L. Schultz, 1 vote. Williamstown, A. Marcon, 2 votes. Williamstown, M. Gibbons, 3 votes. North Ballarat versus Sandringham. Sandringham, N. O'Kearney, 1 vote. Sandringham, R. Marshall, 2 votes. Sandringham, E. Phillips, 3 votes. Collingwood versus Port Melbourne. Port Melbourne, J Lyle, 1 vote. Collingwood, J Ramsey, 2 votes. Port Melbourne, D Vojo Rainbow, 3 votes. Casey Deem versus Werribee. Werribee, M Hanson, 1 vote. Casey Demons, C Maynard, 2 votes. Casey Demons, J Wagner, 3 votes. Richmond versus Coburg. Richmond, A Miles, 1 vote. Richmond, S Bolton, 2 votes. Richmond, B Wood, 3 votes. Geelong Cats versus Essendon. Essendon, B Howlett, 1 vote. Geelong Cats, J Quinico, 2 votes. Geelong Cats, J Thurlow, 3 votes. Box Hill Hawks versus Northern Blues. Box Hill Hawks, B Whitecross, 1 vote. Box Hill Hawks, K Stewart, 2 votes. Box Hill Hawks, W Murphy, 3 votes. Declare the winner of the 2017 JJ Liston Trophy, Jacob Townsend of the Richmond Football Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2017 winner of the JJ Liston Trophy, Jacob Townsend from Richmond, to the stage. And as he makes his way forward, I also welcome Williamstown's Michael Gibbons, the 2016 JJ Liston Trophy, to stage as well to present the medal to our new winner in 2017. And as he makes his way forward, we'll just pause for the presentation. But first, a look at Jacob's season highlights in the VFL. Wonderful season for Jacob Townsend. I'll now ask Michael Gibbons, the 2016 Liston Trophy winner, to present our 2017 winner with the JJ Liston Trophy, the 73rd winner. Hold there for a second, because these numbers sound good. Jacob Townsend becomes Richmond's first standalone winner of the JJ Liston Trophy. Ezra Poyce in 2001, when Richmond were in their Coburg alignment, their only other previous winner. They also won 6 Gardner medals in the old AFL reserves, the last of those Darryl Vernon, back in 1981. Jacob Townsend's a 24-year-old from Leeton, Whitton in New South Wales, and also the GWS Giants. He's played 30 VFL games in total. This season, 18 votes. He polled in 8 games, 3 best on grounds, 4 2 votes and 1 single vote. His 2017 VFL season, 15 games, 14 goals. He averaged 21 possessions and 6 tackles per game. He was named in Richmond's best players from 15 matches 12 times. Superb season, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for the 2017 JJ Liston Trophy winner. And to just add another little cherry on top of what's been a good September for you so far, 35 AFL games, 3 of them in the last week, and they've probably been the 3 most enjoyable and impactful of your AFL career. But we pause on what's coming first. How did your VFL season set you up to get into the AFL and have the impact you've had?
At the start of the year, I was just focusing on playing good footy, because I knew that we got some good players in Josh Caddy and
Dion press you in the club. So I knew trying to get a game in the ones would be tough. So didn't really focus on that much. Just try to get a full pre-season into me, which I did for the first time. And just focused on going out there and just playing my best footy and trying to play my role for the side, which I think I did that quite well.
I think you did. 18 votes will tell us that story. You're not short on hard nuts in this Richmond VFL team. You've got Jacob Ballard, Brandon Wood, yourself. How do you go about all getting, I guess, your turn? And has that also helped your flexibility of having to play in other roles when those guys are getting their opportunity around the contest?
As you said, we do have a fair few hard nuts in there, and you've got Anthony Miles there as well, so he's up there. So that has helped. There's times there where we want to play in the middle, which we can't, so we've got to either push out forward or down back on the wing as well. So I went and spoke to all the coaches at the club, and they saw me moving down a bit forward, and if I was going to play a game up in the ones, it'd be more forward than coming into the middle. So try to work on that at training during the year, and I think that put me in good stead to be able to add that to my game and finally get the chance in the ones this year.
Back-to-back wins in the Liston for the Riverina boys.
Yeah.
Michael Gibbons is a
Gibbo.
Coolman boy. You're from
Leighton.
Leighton, but you started your journey in sport as a rugby union player. What was the transition like into footy, and then the journey to move up to Sydney in your teens to take up the opportunity in the GWS Giants Academy?
Yeah, so I did start playing rugby union when I was about, I think, 9 or 10, or even younger than that, actually. And then I started playing AFL when I was about 12. My mate was playing it, and he said he came over for a game, and I did. And then I was playing both codes there for a while, and then had to make a choice, and chose rules, which in the end probably paid off for me. So I think I've used my tackling traits and what I learnt in union and try to transfer that into the rules, and it's been going right.
Tell us about Craig McRae's influence on your footy.
Yeah, Craig's been very good for me personally, and also as a team. It's tough to have a sort of a team where you're associated with an AFL club because you don't get to spend the time with the AFL boys. I know previous year, my first year at the club, didn't really have much to do with all the VFL boys, but I think it's a real credit to Craig and all the VFL staff and the program that they've got there. That our connection with the AFL boys and the VFL boys is pretty tight. So so he's been great in terms of that, and all the coaches have trying to bring us together as like one team, which we are, but we're sort of obviously the VFL boys train on a separate schedule to the AFL boys. So that's been very, very pleasing, and it's gone a long way to us having a pretty good year so far.
Tell us about Friday night, not just in terms of your footy career, but as a life experience. It must have been unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was loud out there. It was obviously good to get the win, and in a prelim. It's sort of a weird feeling because I played the whole season in the twos, so I was pre-me playing against Freo a few weeks ago. I was keen on getting a premiership in the twos, and so that's sort of maybe changed now, which is a bit of a shame in a way. But so I forgot the question as Katie did earlier, but I'll probably end that there. I don't know what I'm going to say.
It's a good trait. Forget a question, win a medal tonight seems to be the way to go, or not even turn up in the first place. Tell us about what happens between now and Saturday week. You wait to see, obviously, whether it's GWS or West Coast from a preliminary final point of view, but what's the build-up between now and then? And obviously, I'd imagine you're getting along to Port Melbourne Saturday to support the VFL boys that have helped you win this award tonight. Yeah,
definitely. So obviously we won't play this week. We watch the West Coast v Giants, and we've enjoyed the win on the weekend. But once we get back to training, it's all systems go to try and put our best foot forward for the prelim against the Giants or the Eagles. As I said, I will be there on Saturday watching the boys go around, and hopefully they get the win.
And probably signing a few autographs, I'm tipping as well. I'm sure there's some people you want to thank, so floor is yours.
Yep. I suppose, like I said earlier, to Craig, Ferg, X, Wadey, Tom, all the boys there, all the staff, all the coaching staff that have put in a fair bit of time into the VFL program since the 2 years since I've been here. So as my family, I've got to thank them. Without them, obviously wouldn't be here. Mum and Dad, growing up in a small town, you had to travel a fair few Ks to sort of play games. So thanks to them. Thanks to the boys, the VFL boys, each one that's played the game in the twos. As I said, the connection there is great. I've made some pretty good mates there, and that's been good. I forgot what I was going to say then again. And that's about it. I'm not too sure what else to say. I'm not real good talking, but yeah, thanks to the league as well. It's probably the best, it is the best league outside the AFL. So appreciate all the sponsors and everything that they put their time into it. And yeah, that's me.
I will take one of those. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to be upstanding, please. Charge your glasses. And a toast to the 2017 JJ Liston Trophy winner from Richmond, Jacob Townsend. Jacob. I reckon you can have a little sip. Good. Right, back on the Gatorades. A quick look back at the final leaderboard. Jacob Townsend, as we said, polled 18 votes on the season, a magnificent effort. Michael Gibbons, 1 year after winning the Liston Trophy, finished second. His consistency in the competition is remarkable. Frank Johnson medalist, Norm Goss medalist, JJ Liston Trophy in second again this year. He was best on ground in round 19 against Footscray, 4 best on grounds in total. Adam Marcon polled in 7 games in the season to finish third. Matt Hansen, who had 3 threes, 2 twos and a single vote, ties in third as well. And as we mentioned, Anthony Miles, an outstanding season. And Willie Wheeler as well, worth mentioning. He had 3 vote games in round 8, 14, 15 and 17. Well, as we officially close proceedings here at Crown Palladium, confirmed to media, there will be a media conference with Jacob Townsend held in the foyer area, so please make your way towards AFL Victoria's media manager, Anthony Stangards. Club-by-club summaries will be available on the screen shortly, and all results will also be posted on the VFL website very soon as well. Congratulations to all our award winners tonight, and best of luck to the remaining teams competing in both the Peter Jackson Love the Game Final Series and the Swiss Wellness VFL Finals this weekend. Don't forget, both preliminary finals this weekend live on Channel 7 from 2:30 p.m. Saturday afternoon, it's the Box Hill Hawks and Richmond. Sunday, Williamstown and Port Melbourne. A very big thank you to Dana Reddick and the team at AFL Victoria for their work tonight in pulling together what's a magnificent event. A round of applause for the events team at AFL Victoria. This evening continues to grow year on year and celebrate Victorian football as it should. Thanks to our audience via vfl.com.au tonight for your involvement in the coverage as well. A big round of applause to Nicole Livingston for a wonderful job hosting the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's component of the evening. My name's Nigel Carmody. Thanks for your attention tonight. Thanks to Goy Locke for turning up, and we'll see you at the footy at Port Melbourne this weekend. Take care, drive safe.
Get up in the evening, I ain't got nothing to see. Come in the morning, I go to that start a fire without a spark. This gun's a higher, even if it's still singing in the dark. The cities keep getting clearer. Radio's on and I'm moving around the place. Check my look in the mirror. I wanna change my clothes, my hair, my face. Man, I ain't getting nowhere. Man, I'm sick of living in eternal lies. Something happening somewhere. Hey, I just know that it can't start a fire. Can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's a higher, even if we're just dancing in the dark. Standing around getting older. There's a jockey somewhere and it's on me. Give it right up my shoulders. Come on, be the last on me. Stay on the streets of this town. Ooh, and we carving you up all night. You say you won't stay hungry. Hey, baby, I'm just about starving tonight. I'm dying for some action. I'm sick of sitting around here and trying to write it. I need a love reaction. Come on, baby, give me just water. Can't start a fire. Can't start a fire without a spark. This goes higher. Even if we're just dancing here, getting on a fire. Worrying about your little world falling apart. This goes higher. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. 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 Hey, baby. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Enjoy your night, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you dance in the dark out there safely. You want to have one little boogie in here before you go, that's okay.